Hello, everyone. My name is Professor Darren Hayes. I'm a professor at the Seidenberg School of Computer Science and Information Systems. I'm the Director of Cybersecurity here at Pace University. And it's my pleasure to introduce Kelvin Moore, who is the Chief Executive Officer at MyTax. So, welcome, Kelvin. It's a pleasure to have you here. And also, thank you for your service on our Cybersecurity Board. We're honored to have you.
No, it's a pleasure to be here, Darren. Thank you for having me.
Great, excellent. So tell me a little bit about MyTax.
So my tax came about during COVID. I was working for the federal government, and of course during COVID, everyone was sort of secluded to their homes, and so decided to embark on my own venture. Created MyTax. We do cybersecurity for the federal government and commercial industry as well. And we do cyber tabletops. We conduct, as I mentioned, cyber testing, architectural designs, things of that nature in the cyber field. So we try to cover every domain possible.
Great, thank you. So thank you for your service. I believe you're a US Marine.
I am.
How did you make that transition from being in the military to ending up working with huge companies and the federal government and supporting that type of mission?
Yeah. So it was actually an easy transition. While I was in the Marine Corps, initially I was working with the JAG Corps, sending people to jail for breaking laws and rules. Sort of similar in the cybersecurity community. When I was in Japan, I was asked to take on a role that was outside of my normal scope. And so I took it on, came back to the organization, automated an enterprise capability. And that's sort of where my uh, curiosity of cyber took off. And so supporting the large entities within the Marine Corps. And then when I transitioned from the Marine Corps, I was in New York where I was the IT director for the district attorney. And there I actually supported even larger organizations where it was either the DEA, FBI, the local communities, et cetera. And so I think it prepared me well for when I transitioned to the federal space, became a deputy CIO and a CIO and a CISO upon my retirement. And so I think it prepared me very well to deal with the activity that I'm dealing with within inside of my company, whether it's a large organization, an agency. I'm able to look at it from the same lens as I did when I was in the Marine Corps, helping the prosecutors prosecute, and then on to the district attorney, where through IT supporting that environment, and then now strictly focused on cybersecurity, AI type activities.
I often tell my students, don't just think about a career in the private sector or working for a bank or a media company. Also consider a career with the federal government. What are the benefits of working for the federal government?
Yeah. So I spent a total of 30 years working for the federal government, and I enjoyed every moment. When I was in the military, it was great, and then when I transitioned over to as a federal civilian, my last 18 years there were great as well. And so some of the benefits, as some may know, having that job security is one thing, but you get an opportunity to learn so many different aspects, and you also aspects of cybersecurity, and you have the opportunity to also go from organizations or agency to agency to learn the different roles and responsibilities that they may have, and then how you can take your cyber knowledge. Insert it into their processes, procedures, way of doing business and culture, and be a value add. And then the ultimate thing is you want to retire, right? You want to have a nice little pension when you retire as well, and so it's good to be in that environment, that sense of duty from the military over to the federal space. It sort of bleeds and blends together. So definitely, if anyone's looking for a professional position within the federal government, I would say definitely pursue it.
So, in order for our students to get jobs as cybersecurity practitioners, there needs to be adversaries, there needs to be threats. What are, do you think, the biggest threats that our nation faces right now in terms of threats, and where does cybersecurity fit in there?
Yeah, so I think the biggest buzzword today is AI, right? Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, so to speak. There are those out there that aren't, and I applaud you. I too love AI and utilize it for good, of course. Putting those guardrails around AI in order to make sure that you're doing it ethically, I think is a challenge today because there's so many capabilities that are coming out to the workforce and to the humans in general, and we're implementing it into our everyday lives. So AI, I think, is a great tool when utilized in the appropriate manner. I say to the students, um, definitely engage in AI, learn as much as you can about it. Uh, be ethical in your practices and your use, and then again, when you're leaving PACE and you're going into the work environment, you want to make sure that you take all of those lessons learned at PACE and utilize them in that capacity. I think internships are very important. As a matter of fact, within our company, we've just hired an intern. She's developing AI and LLM activities as we speak. And at the end of her internship, she's got to provide an hour presentation in order to receive a scholarship. And so it's going to help her while she's in school. And then also, the hopes for the company is that through these internships, we're going to be able to develop the next generation of cyber experts and then either hire them within the company or be able to give them an olive branch to another organization or entity in order to become a cybersecurity professional.
So, knowing you for quite some time, I know that you are working constantly, but you always seem very calm and ready to deal with situations. So maybe that's because you have a good work-life balance. Any kind of uh, advice that you would give people, because cybersecurity can be intense, it can be very stressful, especially if you do anything related to incident response. How do you get that work-life balance?
Yeah, good question, and I don't know if you're gonna like this answer.
Okay.
uh, I am what you would call a workaholic. Um, outside of work, I think the majority of my time is spent on a golf course, and that's sort of my qualm because it gives me an opportunity to not think about cyber, not think about the next task, and just focus on hitting that white ball and getting it in a hole. I would say don't be like me from that perspective. Definitely, you want to have a work life balance where you're providing a value add to an entity or a company, or even to yourself if you're a business owner. As a CEO, you definitely have a lot of things that take place after the normal business day. And so I just say find whatever makes you happy outside of your workspace, and do it as much as you possibly can. Um, and then also, again, be ready to be a value add to your organization.
Thank you. So, Kelvin Moore, it's been a pleasure having you here today. Thank you again for your service to your country, for still continuing to serve this country and our national security, and also appreciate you being a member of the Seidenberg Cybersecurity Board. Thank you.
Thank you.